Good morning. Welcome, my fellow patriots, veterans, citizens, and family and relatives of Private First Class Dewayne T. Williams on the 56th anniversary of his actions that led to the posthumous award of the Medal of Honor. Piper. Thank you, Michael. We will start our ceremony by honoring America. We will announce the Pledge of Allegiance. I ask if those are able to stand, please do so. If you have to sit, that is the right thing to do. Military members, for the Pledge of Allegiance, stand at attention, remain silent, and render your hand salute. All others uncover and place their right hand over their heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem. We are proud to have with us today Emily Gooley. Please render honors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the
you, Emily. Thank you very much. Now I ask the chaplain, Dave Hoffman, from VVA Chapter 184 to come forward for our prayer.
Father God, we are blessed by your hand, and thank you for this day of remembrance for our compatriot, Dewayne T. Williams. As a brother in arms, he made the ultimate sacrifice for his life, for his fellow man. May your spirit be with us, each of us, as we pray and pay tribute and homage to his legacy and his memory. We ask all this in the precious name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Now it's my honor to turn it over to the ceremony to Karen Stafford. Karen.
Good morning, everyone. This is my complete honor to have this ceremony today. And before I start, I want you to know that under that tent over there is Dewayne's uniform, including his Medal of Honor. And we also have the uniform of Jeffrey Stanfest, another St. Clair High School graduate that lost his life in Afghanistan in 2010. Please make sure you see them. They do not bring that Medal of Honor very many places. In fact, I'm not even sure they bring it at all. But they did that for us today. And good morning. My name is Karen Straffen. My husband and Nick, who spent 30 years in the Army and Army Reserve, we live in Clinton Township. And this is really humbling to me. We have spent the last 16 years making sure our Gold Star families and fallen heroes are honored and remembered. And I do know that we have a Gold Star family here besides the Williams, which we will introduce you all. Mike and Carol Lilly, their son Joe, lost his life in Afghanistan June 14th, 2012. If there are any other Gold Star families, please raise your hand. We would like to honor you as well. Know that we totally appreciate your sacrifices. Nick and I were with our dear friend, Medal of Honor recipient, Lieutenant Colonel Charlie Kettles, the day he passed away. And that's Charlie's Medal of Honor flag that we brought to honor Dewayne. And Charlie had told me that he had made sure 44 men did not die the day he earned the Medal of Honor in Vietnam. And it is now our duty to make sure those who did not make it were always remembered. I am living up to my promise to Charlie, as I had realized that most of the county residents did not know who Dewayne Williams was. So it became my mission to change that, and there was no more appropriate day than September 18th, which is the day Dewayne was born on in 1949, and the day he gave his life for our great country in Vietnam in 1968. When men and women enlist, they are seldom told straight out the risk and probability of death. It is merely with them, part of the professional values, the willingness to enter harm's way and let fate control their sacrifice for this great country. Dewayne and Jeff Stanfest knew the risk and accepted the challenge. The freedoms we enjoy today have not come without a price, and we are here today to honor this county's only Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, Private First Class Dewayne T. Williams. I would like to stress the importance of those who have received this award. They are not winners, they are recipients. Since World War I, Michigan has only had 29 recipients out of hundreds of thousands that have fought and served, and only 10 of those are from Vietnam. We are honored to have Michigan's only living Medal of Honor recipient here today to speak, Specialist Jim McClure. Before I speak a little about Dewayne's life, I would like to introduce his 5 sisters, 1 brother, his two aunts and two uncles. If you can stand, please do so. If you cannot, just wave your arm. We have Penny Meinhardt, Joyce Baldwin, Howard Williams, Diane Walker, Janice McCarver, and Lorraine Chemin. We have his Aunt Janet and Uncle Jerry. And Aunt Janet, I have read the letters that Dewayne wrote home to you, and they really touched me. Uncle Marv and Aunt Betty are here too. Thank you. I cannot imagine the pain that they have endured. You can say it. Since they received that knock at the door. Penny had told me she was so excited when she saw two Marines getting out of the car and running to tell her mother that Dewayne and his cousin Al were home. Only they realized it wasn't them. Dewayne was born September 18, 1949 in Brown City and attended schools in St. Clair County. Prior to enlisting in the Marines, Dewayne worked at Muller Brass in a local gas station, which enabled him to become a home and property owner before he left for the Marines. Remember, he left at 18. He was also engaged and eagerly anticipated fulfilling his life upon his return. Dewayne and his cousin Al decided to serve their country and enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps Buddy Program going to Camp Pendleton. By early June, he was promoted to Private First Class and deployed to Vietnam. Throughout his service, Dewayne demonstrated duty, responsibility, and integrity in all of his actions. On September 18th, Dewayne's 19th birthday, his unit participated in a patrol to destroy enemy sniper positions in Quang Nam province. His unit was suddenly ambushed by North Vietnamese forces. Dewayne was wounded early in the skirmish, but still attempted to fire back. While he was moving under continuing intense fire, he heard a patrol member sound the alert that an enemy grenade had landed close to their position. Reacting instantly, Dewayne saw that the grenade had landed close to where he was lying, and without hesitation, in a valiant act of heroism, he rolled on top of the grenade as it exploded, absorbing the full and tremendous impact of the explosion with his own body. Dewayne put his country first by serving in the United States Marine Corps and ultimately giving his life for his country. He is St. Clair County's only Medal of Honor recipient, and his selfless dedication and service to the United States of America demonstrate that he has greatly earned this recognition. May his commitment to the country serve as a shining example to other citizens. I would now like to introduce one of my greatest friends, and he is pretty hilarious, although I know it won't be today. But Jim and Cherie McLuhan are two of the most amazing people, and Jim, as this state's only Medal of Honor recipient left, he is always on the go, and I am so honored that he would take the time to drive from Saugatuck and come and speak on Dewayne's behalf. So please welcome Medal of Honor recipient Jim McLuhan.
Karen, I'm glad you spoke first. It's one of the few times I didn't have to lower the mic. You should see I'm introduced sometimes by these 6'8" guys, you know, and I have to get up here and say, "Whoa, where's the mic?" Well, thank you very much, Karen and Nick. We are so valued of your friendship, but I want you all to know, if you don't know Karen and Nick, they have done a ton of things for many veterans and those that need to be memorialized. I'd have to stay here about 3 days to list all of the things that they've done. And my calendar girl, Cherie, is back there with our 2 poodles. And I could not do this without her. Last year we had 155 events, and we're going to outdo that this year. We added this one a little bit ago. Lincoln once said, "Any nation that does not honor its heroes will not long endure." And that's why we're here today. Colonel Hal Moore, I think you might know him. He was the leader in We Were Soldiers Once and Young. He stated this: "There is no such thing as closure for soldiers who have survived a war. They have an obligation, a sacred duty to remember those who fell in battle beside them for the rest of their life, and to bear witness to the insanity of war." I'm sure all of you know someone that's been in a war, and we don't talk about it. I received the Medal of Honor 48 years after my action, and when my 72 assistant coaches came to me and said, "What's this? You never talked about this." No, we don't talk about it for 2 reasons. Number 1, we don't want to even go there in our mind. And number 2, you wouldn't believe us if we told you anyway. I see some parallels that Dewayne and I have, so I'd like to share that with the family. We both joined the service in 1968. He did it in March and I did it in August because of another parallel, and that is that he bought some property, right? Bought some property before he went in, and he was going to come back and have his future on that property. I had just finished my bachelor's degree, spent every dime I had earned since I was 8 years old, and they said, "No, you're not going to become a teacher and a coach yet." They drafted me in August, and I headed later for Vietnam. We both were on the front lines. You can't understand what the front lines are, but very few people go there. 9 million were in the service during the Vietnam War. 2.7 million were sent to Vietnam, and only 10% of those were out there on the front line. I'm not saying that those were not out on the front line, were not contributing, because we really depended on them a lot. He was a rifleman, and I was a medic. We both were PFCs. Matter of fact, you might not know this, but the reason that I received my medal 48 years later is because I was put in for the Distinguished Service Cross in the beginning, and my lieutenant was told that I was nothing but a PFC and they don't get that, so put him in for the Bronze Star. And I told him I wasn't there for any medals on my chest or ribbons on my uniform. I just want to go home. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a coach. And I want to be a dad. He saved his comrades by rolling on a grenade. I went into the kill zone 10 times in a 48-hour battle to save 10 Americans and 1 Vietnamese interpreter. Both of us were just doing our job. And both of us loved our country and our American values as we fought for a group of people in Vietnam who could not defend themselves. We were both 2 of only 121 Medal of Honor recipients from the state of Michigan. Of the 46 million who have put on the uniform to fight in all of our wars, only 3,519 have received the medal that is around my neck. Since you had to risk your life for it, which Dewayne had to risk his life for it, only 1,000 of the 46 million, only 1,780 have received the Congressional Medal of Honor. I got to get something off my chest right now. We didn't lose the Vietnam War. Dewayne did not risk his life and not be able to defend himself and say, no, I was there for a reason. We didn't lose it, and I'll tell you that Saigon did not fall until 1975. We were out of there August of 1972, and we had won the war at that time. So Westmoreland has been quoted as saying that one of the most noted professors, Douglas Pike, said this: "We did not lose a battle of any consequence. It was almost an unprecedented performance by our fighting men. The war was a major defeat for the NVA and the VC." You need to know that the true character of the man that we're here to memorialize today, he did not lose his life in vain. We stopped communism from being spread from Singapore all the way down to the Philippines, because they knew, the communists knew, if they stuck their nose into any of those countries, they'd have to fight the American fighting man. And they didn't want to do that. Dewayne, might make you angry, but I want to tell you something. I'm talking to him, and I know he's here. You cannot convince me any other way that Dewayne Williams' spirit is not here. There are 14 million men who say they went to Vietnam and never did. They're wannabes. They want to be you, Dewayne. You know why they want to be you, Dewayne? That's a simple question to answer. You're an ABA. You're an American badass. That's what you are. And you fought for this country, and you stood up against the communists. From now on, I will refer to it as an ABA. Okay? But we know what it is. Here's what you did to become an ABA. When it was your turn to serve, you didn't run away and hide. You joined the Marines. And you joined those who wanted to fight a communist regime. You raised your hand and repeated the military oath and confirmed your commitment to the American values and the ideals of this country. You signed your family's name. Imagine that. Those of you out here that didn't go into combat, you did the same. You don't jump on a grenade thinking it's not going off. You jump on it like Dewayne did, thinking, I've got to save my men. Everyone that signed on that line and put your family name on that line, you jumped on a grenade because you didn't know whether they were going to send you or not, but you said they could. He worked his butt off. And I guess I've talked to a few Marines. They think they're the only ones that work their butt off, though. I want to tell you that. Us Army guys, you know, we kid back and forth with the Marines and the Navy and so on and so forth. But that's what Dewayne did. He did to perform his duties the best that he could later on. And he got closer and closer to being an ABA. You became a member of the biggest team that you will ever be a part of, or that he was ever a part of, the United States Marines. Yep, you stepped on a plane and you went all the way over to a place that you not only never probably had heard of, but you certainly had never been there before. You fought for a group of human beings who could not defend themselves. You were a part of the toughest military force in the world, the United States military fighting men. And might I add, we are the most compassionate. You were thousands of miles from those that you loved, yet you kept your focus on your mission. Between fights, you tried to write letters home, but you made sure that you didn't tell them the truth about the hell on earth that you were going through, because you didn't want friends and family to worry. As we gather here today, I want you to know there are only 18 million veterans in the United States today, and only 60 Medal of Honor recipients are left, 60. And we have some health issues. These veterans are dying at 1,700 per day, and 22 of them by suicide. The war never ended for them. Pray for them. Half of the Medal of Honor, as I've mentioned, were given during the Civil War, and the reason was it was the only medal. So if they needed to give them something for something they had done heroic, that's what they did. Besides being honored here today, Dewayne has been honored many times. First of all, he's on the wall, the virtual wall of Vietnam in Washington, D.C., panel W43, line 25. The Tower of Honor recognizes him as a hero here in St. Clair. I never knew the next two. He has signs. Well, I ran into that sign yesterday though, in Lapeer, and the sign recognizes the highway from Lapeer to the west end, or to the other, west end of Port Huron, as the Dewayne T. Williams Memorial Highway. So, and it goes quite a ways. And here's the one I certainly didn't know, and this is phenomenal. The United States Navy ship, the PFC Dewayne T. Williams, bears his name. It's been in service since 1985, that's 39 years. It's 623 feet long, that's 1.8 football fields, all right? And it weighs 44,330 tons. What an honor to have a ship, a huge ship named after you. As a combat medic, I held 18, 19, and 20-year-old boys in my arms. I heard their last words, and I saw the last breath of life come out of their bodies. I'm a witness to the fact that freedom is not free. President Reagan put it best, and I think I'll talk of it as if he was talking to Dewayne. Dewayne never got to marry his soulmate, never got to see the birth of a child. If he had a little girl, he never got to walk her down the aisle and dance that father-daughter dance at the end of the ceremony. And every anniversary, every birthday, every reunion, every holiday, he is not there. He gave up 2 lives, the one he was leading when he was killed and the one he never got to lead. 2 lives so that you and I can enjoy our one life in freedom. Before singing a song for you that is appropriate today, I want to tell you the biggest lesson I learned in Vietnam, because it applies to everyone who is here with me today. It was the second day of the battle for New Yan Hill, for which 89 of my men and I received this battle medal, and I wear it for them. You never do anything alone, never ever. This is theirs too. I heard, "Medic!" Jumped up, rushed into the kill zone. Enemy firing at my men firing at the enemy, and I noticed it's a stomach wound. Oh no, I can't move him. I'm a sitting duck. I got hit with an AK-47 round while I worked on him, but I had to get the pressure bandages on because the organs had already started to work their way out. I put those pressure bandages on. I didn't have anything to eat or drink for 2 days, the 2 days of the battle. And this is why I reached down and I got my canteen and I put the water on those pressure bandages so that his insides would not dry up and he'd die anyway. I got him fixed and I dragged him real slowly into a trench line left there by the French from the French-Vietnamese War. And I'm trying to think, how am I going to carry this guy out of here? I can't throw him over my shoulder with a fireman's carry like I do everybody else, or everything that I did will become undone. I finally decided I would cradle him like a baby. And I put him against my chest. This is one of the times I was glad I was short, because then I said said to myself, I'll get as low as I can and maybe we won't get hit by the crossfire. All of a sudden, here's the lesson that I learned. Out of nowhere, I remembered I had been a little boy the last time I told my father that I loved him. In the 50s, 60s, you didn't say that to your dad didn't say that to you. I assumed my father loved me, and I hoped he knew that I loved him, but I hadn't said it. And I had a conversation with the Lord, and I said, Lord, if you get me out of this hell on earth, I'll be the best coach, I'll be the best teacher, and I'll be the best father that I can possibly be. And I ran to my dad in the O'Hare airport when I came home. I threw my arms around him, and I said those 3 words, I love you. And he did the same thing back at me, as if we'd been doing that every day for 24 years of my life so far. It was our greeting and our departure. I taught my children, my grandchildren, my athletes, my students. That 72 coaches. I taught them that those are the 3 most powerful words that you can say to anyone. I almost waited too long to say it to my dad, but I made sure I caught up once I got home. Now, you didn't think you were going to get out of here without getting an assignment from an ex-teacher, did you? So I'm giving you an assignment. There must be somebody, not on purpose, you've been pretty busy, you haven't seen them lately, whatever the reason is, you haven't said those 3 words to them, and you do love them. So you got all kinds of ways to do it. If you can't operate them phones, ask some kid. They'll tell you how to operate one of them phones. And you're going to go to that person, either in person, if you can. I would advise you to go in person. And you're going to say, I love you, to them. Part B of the assignment, tell them why you love them. We're here because greater love has no man than to lay down his life for another. And I'm going to sing a song by Ray Bolt entitled Fallen But Not Forgotten. We didn't rehearse this, so we're either going to have to turn it up or... What's that? Not on Fallen, not forgotten. Fallen, not forgotten. It's about the second one down. Fallen but not forgotten. It'll be okay. I'm sure. Won't be the last time that... I've only made one mistake in my life. That's when I thought I'd made a mistake. You ever done that? Okay. That's it. He stood beside his daddy and watched the soldiers marching by. It was Memorial Day and he noticed there were tears in Daddy's eyes. Later they laid flowers beside a monument in stone. He said, son, my daddy went to fight and didn't make it home. Fallen, not forgotten. He was a hero, and he stood so tall, and forever we'll remember in honor and glory he gave his all. He left behind his family, the towns where he was born, For the rice paddies of Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Desert Storm. They were soldiers in Korea, in World War I and World War II. They paid the price, some gave their life, and they fought for me and you. Fallen, but not forgotten. They were the heroes, and they stood so tall, and forever we'll remember in honor and glory. They gave their all. Honor and glory. Honor and glory. Freedom is a blessing, but freedom has a price. We must remember those who paid it with their lives. Remember the fallen, but not forgotten, or the other heroes, and they stood so tall, and forever we'll remember in honor and glory. They gave their all. Fallen, but not forgotten. They are the heroes, and they stood so tall, and forever we will remember in honor and glory, in honor and glory, in honor and glory. They gave their all. Amen. God bless you, Gold Star family. You are in our prayers.
Thank you, Jim. He always brings tears. Can somebody tell me, is Mr. Smitty from Congresswoman McLean's office here? Okay, I guess not. But anyway, we have presentations for the Dewayne Williams family. So if the sisters and the brother, if you can stand, if you can't, we are going to have Gunny Sergeant Ryan Ramirez first.
Hello, everyone. First off, thank you for coming out here. It is truly inspiring to me when I come to an event like this and I see a small community that has gathered together to honor one of their fallen. I know what it's like to lose brothers, and I've been the guy that knocks on the family's doors, so it really does mean a lot. Today I'm going to be presenting the Gold Star lapel button. At the conclusion of World War II, Congress established the Gold Star lapel button to provide an appropriate means to identify widows and widowers, children and parents, brothers and sisters of members of the armed forces of the United States who lost their lives in defense of democracy and freedom during World Wars I and II, and any subsequent armed hostilities in which the United States became engaged. The Gold Star lapel button's unique design incorporates the symbols that indicate the family's loss. The laurel wreath border signifies valor, the purple field signifies the family's grief or mourning, and the gold star has been used since World War I to signify died in combat and theater. I know it's long overdue, but on behalf of a grateful nation, I would like to thank you for your brother's ultimate sacrifice and your loss.
Thank you, Gunny Sergeant Ramirez. Please wear those pins proudly. I do know whenever I see someone with the Gold Star pin, like the Lilies wear, I always go up and ask them about their loved one. Next, we will have Jim McLuhan, who is a board member of the Woody Williams Foundation. My husband and I are honorary board members. They will present to you the Woody Williams Foundation pin. So, no, you got to stand back up. Yeah. And wear these pins proudly. We have built, 3 years ago, we had the second dedication of a Woody Williams family memorial monument. We built it in Clinton Township, and that's a place where all Gold Star families can go and sit and think and know that they are not forgotten. And we are planning another one for dedication June 2026 in Paw Paw, Michigan. You can please, when we know about it, we invite all the Gold Star families and everyone else to attend. And now my husband will present to Howard the flag flown over our state capitol in honor of your brother, Dewayne. And the citation. No, give it to Howard. Okay. I will just read you a little bit. It says, "Let it be known that this tribute is offered as a memorial for the honorable life of Dewayne Williams. As the people of the Great Lakes State and St. Clair County recognize the loyalty and devotion to service of this heroic individual, we add our sentiments of honor and gratitude. In special tribute, therefore, this document is signed and dedicated to honor the exemplary life of Private First Class Dewayne T. Williams. May his family know of our utmost respect and gratitude for his service and sacrifice. Signed by State Senator Dan Lowers, State Representative Jay DeBoyer, State Representative Andrew Beeler, and State Representative Jamie Green. And there is a certificate that it was flown over the state capitol. Howard. Yeah. We don't have the other one. He's not here. Okay, now you can sit down. And we also have from the county executive board, we have a proclamation that September 18th as Medal of Honor Private First Class Dewayne T. Williams Day. And we have the citation here. Okay. Yeah. Howard, you can give that to Penny now. Yours is here.
Hello, everyone. I'm from Congresswoman Lisa McLean's office. Sorry, I didn't come up when I was called up, but I was in the back. I have a certificate here and a flag that was flown over the United States Capitol from the Congresswoman, and I'm going to read that certificate now. This is to certify that the accompanying flag was flown over the United States Capitol at the request of the Honorable Lisa C. McLean, Member of Congress representing Michigan's 9th District, to commemorate the life and service of Medal of Honor recipient Private First Class Dewayne T. Williams.
Thank you very much. I now have 3 pictures that I'm going to present to the family, but I'm taking them back because I tried to make copies of them and it wasn't as good. But one is a picture of Dewayne. I had it blown up and enlarged so you could see it in his uniform. Then we have a picture of Dewayne and his cousin Al when they came home from one of their leaves. And then this picture is just great. This is Dewayne in Vietnam. And the picture was kind of destroyed, but the gentleman really did it great. And so the family will each be getting one of these photos. I just didn't make them right. And now, Penny, I would like Gold Star parents Carol and Mike Lilly. Their son Joe was killed in Afghanistan June 14th, 2012. And he was also wearing someone else's uniform because he was not medically authorized for combat that day. But they would like to present to you a quilt in honor of Dewayne. And of course, as always, thank you to Dewayne's family. We really, really appreciate it. And now, what I would like to do is, I've got a lot of ideas, when I do things. I hope everybody noticed the street banners on the light poles that I had designed and made in honor of Dewayne. There are 6 of them on the light poles. I hope each year that they are back up so everybody can see them. But I also would like to, Bill Cedar, would you like to say a few words? First, I will present this. Here is a mock-up of a street sign. I am hoping that the city will approve. I would like to get 6 of these signs made for the entrance road to St. Clair. And what it says is, home of St. Clair's own Medal of Honor recipient Dewayne T. Williams, who gave his life for our country on September 18th, 1968. That way, if the city approves, everyone will know as they come into St. Clair that you had a hero living here. And he was a great hero, and he is the only recipient in this entire county. And I would like to present this to Bill Cedar.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Williams family, thank you and welcome to town. Howard, welcome back. I know Howard from my childhood. We went to school together. I spent some time with him last night and this morning. I asked him to describe his brother to me. And he said, my brother was hardworking, he was honest, he would do anything for anyone. He also said that he was a big brother to Howard in that they would milk the cows, and when they got to the barn, Dewayne would light up a cigarette and smoke it. And Howard remembers telling him, I'm going to tell Dad. And Dewayne said, here, have one. And Howard took it and smoked it, and Dewayne said, you're not telling Dad. Howard said, I didn't. So I thank Howard for those memories. I also showed Howard what I was going to say about his brother today. And I said, there's 3 words that I think that I can use to describe him. And Howard looked and said, yes, absolutely. Honor, respect and esteem shown to another. Duty, a responsibility or service to be carried out. Self-sacrifice, the giving up of one's own interests to help others. My hope is that when people see these signs, they will think of Dewayne T. Williams and the ideals of honor, duty, and self-sacrifice, and how he exemplified those ideals in his actions in his life. Thank you, Williams family. Thank you, everyone.
Dawn from the DAR would like to say a few words, and then I know Penny and Diane, and then we will.
The DAR of Michigan is humbled to be included in the honoring of an extraordinary hero, Dewayne T. Williams. His actions were a testament to an unwavering commitment to our country and each of us. Today, as we remember Dewayne, we reflect on his heroic deeds and how he carried forward the legacy of America's Minutemen who answered the call, embodying the values they selflessly demonstrated. We are forever grateful for Private First Class Williams' service and sacrifice. He will remain in this community's heart as a true hero.
Okay, Penny and Diane want to say a few words, but I would like to tell all of you here that less than half of 1% of the people in this country will ever see an original Medal of Honor, and half of 1% will ever meet a Medal of Honor recipient. So please make sure you see the memorial to both Dewayne T. Williams and Jeffrey Stanfest. And please, Jim, I can't tell you any more about Jim and his singing and everything else. But here is Dewayne's sisters, Penny and Diane.
On behalf of our family, we would love to thank you all for the love and the honor of having you all here today. It's been a lot of years, but it's here. And it means the world to us that you all showed up today. But there's been one very special person that we have, 2 people we've worked with for the last few months on this. Karen and Nick, Diane and I have worked the last couple months with. And at this time, we would like Karen to come forward, please. So we are presenting Karen with this beautiful bouquet of flowers out of love for her. She has showed us so much, and just believe that the time that she has spent on doing this for Dewayne means the world to us. And she wouldn't be able to do this if she didn't have a husband that totally was behind her. And thank you everybody that came today. The honor guard, I mean, we got the people from the museum bringing his medals and that. That's a big thing. We have the mayor here. We have Jim. God bless him. And thank you for coming.
now is, we're almost done. We have wreath presentations, and first, I believe Tom Meinhardt and Howard will present a wreath in honor of the Williams family. Dawn Moulthrop Brady, the Daughters of the American Revolution State Regent, and Patty Drury, good friend of ours, will place the wreath in the honor of the Daughters of the American Revolution. And now the St. Clair Veterans Honor Guard with Gunny Sergeant Ryan Ramirez, Barry Harrison, and Tom Oles will place a wreath in the honor of the Veterans Guard, the Marine Corps, and Dewayne.
Wow, what an event. I've been to many events in my life. This is right there on the top. If this doesn't raise the hair on your arms and makes your chest feel prouder, nothing else will. Following our ceremony today, the Charles J. Fulton American Legion Post 382 will be open for patriotic camaraderie. It is down at the light, make a right, and right over the railroad tracks on Clinton. We'd love to have you there. Now we will be conducting military honors. 3 rifle volleys and a playing of taps. If you are sensitive to loud noise, please cover your ears, as those of children. If you can, please stand during the playing of taps and render military honors. Honor Guard, prepare to fire. Honor Guard, hit, port, arm, ready, hey, fire, reset, arm. That concludes today's ceremony. I hope everybody
will take the knowledge they learned of Dewayne home and spread it. Tell the kids, tell your neighbors. We have to make sure that they are remembered. Thank you very much to the Williams family, and please make sure you visit Dewayne's Medal of Honor, because that is very, very special. And say hi to Jim over there with his dogs. Jim and Cherie are my greatest. Thank you very, very much.